Welcome back. I'm Shireen with Olive Street Designs, and today this is my project. This is a fantastic dresser. It's really simple, nice clean lines. It's got some wear and tear on it, which is why I'm refinishing it. But this is the type of project that if you're a beginner and you're or wanting to get into furniture refinishing, this is the kind of piece that you look for. It's in very good condition. It's well made. It's got dovetails, which are the joints of how they create the drawer boxes or attach the face of the drawer to the drawer box, which is a sign of usually pretty good quality. The drawers move very well. This is a simple makeover that's great for a beginner. Now, the first thing I need to do, of course, is take the hardware off. This hardware is kind of funny. If I had a close up of it, I'm taking it all off and I'm not going to save or reuse it. This will get donated because they look like nipples to me. I'm sorry. I just can't get past it. Once I've seen it, I'm like, I can't unsee it. So I've got to do something different. But I like the layout of the knob. So again, another good thing to look for if you're a beginner, that you don't have to change any hardware placement because that is just something, another process to go through. So if you can maintain using the holes that are already there, it will save you some time. Now I'm giving everything a really good cleaning because this has been sitting for a bit. It's dirty, but I also don't know what this has been cleaned with over the years. If it's got polishes, is it wax on it? Although I'm going to get this filthy dirty again while I'm sanding, those types of things can ruin a finish because they stop the adhesion of my products that I'm putting on there. Now, as I'm taking the drawers out, I'm numbering them because they like to go back in their home. I spent some time before I got started figuring out where all the drawers go, and they want to be in their spot. So as I get the drawers out, I'm checking all of the guides. A couple of them are a little loose, but I don't see anything broken. But we've got toe beans. Some little kitty. I don't know how this happens, that there's footprints from cats on the inside of the dresser. But okay. They're so cute, though. I hate to have to clean them off, but they've got to go. So I clean the inside of the dresser as well. I did vacuum everything out. I forgot to show that. Time to get some PPE on. So a good mask before you start your sanding. Now you don't have to have a fancy sander. This can be done with a basic orbital, and you can also do this by hand. If you have sanding sponges or something, because this is not ornate and it doesn't have a whole bunch of, stuff to sand, and this can really be done by hand. And this type of finish, this is not a vintage piece with this really thick varnish. This is a modern day dresser. It scuff sands really easy. Now it works best if you have a pad of some kind. I have a pad on my sander, but having a pad and doing this by hand does make this a lot easier than trying to use a flat piece of sandpaper. I kept that pad on my sander so I can do all the edges of the drawers, of course the faces of the drawers. Everything just needs a good scuff sanding. Now, why does it need a good scuff sanding? The finishes that are on dressers are usually quite slick, varnish of some kind, and this little bit of scuff sanding just gives a little bit of something for your paint and primers and everything to grab onto, gives it some grit. And we want adhesion because we want these to be durable. So I'm going with some Bondo glazing and spot putty. This stuff is fantastic. It's better than wood filler. Now, wood filler has its place. This is perfect for these kinds of touch-ups. I'm just doing a few. Again, this dresser is in great condition, which is why I chose it. And I think finding furniture in good condition for your first and beginner flips is a great thing to do. Because if you don't have to do a lot of repairs, it saves you so much time. And your skill level may not be up there to doing a lot of repairs. So once I get those sanded out, now that glazing and spot putty went on there and it had to dry, and then I sanded it smooth. Time to get everything cleaned up. I'm using a microfiber towel that is just barely damp, and it sort of grabs the dust. I think it really holds it in. I'm not dragging dust around. I mean, it is nice and clean. There are tack cloths. There are all kinds of things you can use. The microfiber towel with a little bit of water on it is my favorite thing to dust everything with. So I just spent some time getting every inch of this dresser wiped back down again so it's very clean, and here we are. Now this is scuffed. The dents and dings have been filled in and sanded smooth, and it's all cleaned up. We are ready for paint. So I'm going to get my big tent set up. I am going to spray. This is a piece that you could definitely brush. And it just so happens that I spray my pieces, but I certainly, when I started doing furniture refinishing, I used to brush everything. And I did that for a very long time because I was like, I don't know if I'll ever use a sprayer. And sure enough, I started using a sprayer and I love it, but you don't have to use a sprayer. So I'm using some tinted primer. And again, white primer is absolutely fine here. This is gray because this is all I have. So had I had white primer here, I probably would have used white, but I'm just getting my sprayer all assembled and ready to go for some primer. Now there are lots of all-in-one paints. They're fantastic. I still say prime because this primer coat is like the glue for your paint, but what it also does is gives you the coat that you need to sand. And when you put primer on there, you allow it to dry and then you're going to sand it. And you'll see I'm going to be sanding it with a sanding sponge. It gives you the smoothest finish. And sanding in between coats is really, I think, the key to getting a smooth finish. So I've got my primer on there. I'm going to allow that to dry for a few hours. I'm just making up a little touch-up kit for the client, whoever buys this dresser. And I also go in with the swatch. I just put some paint on a stick because not everybody's going to have farmhouse paint available to them. I'm using weathered stone, a favorite color. And so you want people to be able to go match this color if they need to or want to. If they have another piece of furniture in their house or a cabinet or something they want to do. Here I am sanding. So this is my favorite coat to sand, and I never skip primer. I'm using these little sanding sponges. I would say you can use them in a 320 or a 400. It doesn't take a lot. And I'm not spending a lot of time sanding everything. It's just to go over it so that it's nice and smooth. Here I am with the microfiber towel again, just getting everything nice and clean. I don't want any dust in my paint. And now you would brush this on or spray this on. And this is my paint coat, first coat. And again, I could have used white primer here. I just happen to, all I have is gray. Everything is gray. Isn't this a beautiful color? Just a really good warm neutral. I know there's lots of color trends, but I will tell you that neutrals are always in. I'm using a little poly brush just to touch up the edges of the drawers. Now, if you were brushing this piece, you wouldn't need to do this because you'd be getting the edges of the drawers while you're brushing the drawer. But when I'm spraying, that sits inside the cabinet and the sprayer kind of misses the edge of it. Again, with the sanding, I sand in between every coat. Now you don't sand the last coat. So you'll see this is my second coat of paint and I don't sand this one because you may, scratch it or mar it. So you don't want to do that. And then this is top coat. Now I top coat every piece. So there are some fantastic all-in-one paints that really don't need a top coat. Farmhouse Evolution being one of them. So you can do a top coat or not. I like to do it. And now I'm going to measure and cut my drawer liners. So I'm not going to line all the drawers. They had really pretty drawers. They were super clean, but I thought a little pop of color in those top little drawers. That's usually where everybody puts socks and, all their delicates. I thought lining those drawers would be fun and a little pop of color. So I measured them, cut them to size, and I'm using a big paintbrush just to dust. I get lots of questions like, what are you putting on there before your drawer liners? Nothing, I'm just dusting, so I'm just using a paintbrush. So I cut these to size and I lay them in the drawer and I smooth it out with my hand. And then I just take a little plastic putty knife just to smooth everything down and make sure that there's no air bubbles. So there it is, looking beautiful. This is one of my favorite drawer liners. I just love those flowers. So again, I'm doing the top two drawers, so that's the second one. And I noticed this drawer had a sticker of some kind. So I have some acetone and it just took that off in seconds. I mean, you're watching this nearly in real time. It was like, boom, it's just gone. So that was magic. Acetone is a fantastic thing to have. You don't have to have a gallon of it, but I think acetone you should always have on hand. Time to put my new hardware on and get rid of those others. Aren't these the cutest? I thought these were so lovely. So let's take a quick look back at where we started, and here we are now. So a really simple upgrade, and I think this just brings this even more modern. I mean, it's a modern style already, but just changing this into a nice neutral, this makes it so it will fit into any space, really in any decor. And now we've got a nice simple makeover. Again, this dresser was free to me, and I listed it for $575. I hope that's a good example of what you can do and the power of paint. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and follow for more.